This is
Coming to you from the heart of the Pacific, brought to you by Paulie by Design.
respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role model every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika Broadcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Naki and Carl.
What's up, Neki?
What's up, Carl?
You ready this morning?
I'm ready.
You ready? You ready? Season 5, episode 43. It is the 1-year anniversary, I think, of Snacky with Naki. Mm-hmm. I just saw that in my memories. I think we did Mio
Crazy.
and the gentleman at IHOP.
Yep.
I think that was a year ago today. So I just realized we're going to talk about Snacky with Naki because of that. And we're going to talk about the vaccine mandate. We're going to talk about a birthday that you attended. My trip to Fort Bragg, COVID-19. We've got some discussions about COVID-19 that kind of new but old, I guess. And our community announcements. So that is our show today. Naki, what's up?
Good morning. So this week, or yesterday actually, I went to a birthday party for my great nephew, and it's my sister Titi, her grandson, her first grandbaby. So he turned 1. His name's Manaya, and his dad's side, Manaya's half Tongan and half Samoan and Tokelau, and he's mixed with all kinds of good stuff. And so he turned 1. And it was in Pleasanton where it was really hot. And so Kyle, my niece, and Toonie threw a really good party. And so they had a photo something there. What are they?
Photo booth?
Photo booth. They had a photo booth.
Do you have all the props?
All the props.
Hats and the glasses.
Yep. And all the pictures. And so they had like 2 cakes. It was like, when we do first birthdays, it's always
a big deal.
Big deal thing. So we got rid of all the cake, which I was kind of surprised. It was one big old sheet. And
what kind of cake? What kind of cake?
It was yellow. I think it was lemon. Hamena?
Lemon.
I don't know. It was.
We don't know.
I didn't have
was
any cake.
Was it good? You didn't have. You're not a cake person.
I'm not a cake
You're
person.
Not a cake person. You pies.
Pies. I love pies.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like a lemon cake, I believe, and so Toonie and Kai did a really good job. My sister it's her first grandchild, her only grandson, and then she has a granddaughter, Nina. So. And I love those babies. But the thing that I loved most about yesterday is that all our kids were there. And they hadn't been together in such a while. And so that everybody made an effort to be there because it was Manaya's first birthday, which I love. My kids were all there and their partners and significant others. And Alex and Tyler and Kyle, Kyle's sisters. And then my Fisos were there. So they all grew up together. They were raised together. So I love watching them just still stay connected and love on each other. And Manaya is a ring boy for Evie's wedding. He's one of the little boys in the wedding. So it was special, and I loved watching the kids get together. So that was me yesterday. We had a good time. Some of us.
Outside?
It was in a hall. And it was so nice. It was beautiful. We got to meet Toonie's family, his mom and his sisters. He's the only boy. And so he's the only boy. And so his sisters, and his eldest sister is the Fahu for Manaya. So, in the Tongan culture, the eldest sister of the dad is like the head of the family, kind of, sort of. So they call her the Fahu. And she had a dance, and it was really beautiful. And then his whole family did a dance, and he did. And so his sisters, all the siblings and the first cousins, most of them are married to Samoans. And so they did a Siva Samoa and a Tongan Tawalunga. So Very nice. We had a good time. Some of us didn't go to bed until late at night. And so the kids were, of course, when our kids get together, it's pate, pate, pate. And so they just are following in their parents' footsteps.
So I'm always curious when the Mole family is there, because your family, so many people are in this great health kick,
Yes.
losing weight. And Mose is always how is that man doing it? He's got to be close to 80 at this point.
Yeah,
He's 75,
I
70,
think he's
75
like
pounds.
75 maybe, but
Incredible.
he's doing really good. He's like balancing, like he was going really hard before so he can lose a lot of weight. And then now he's like trying to balance and find his balance.
Kind of maintain. Okay.
So he's going to the gym. He doesn't eat as much carbs as I do. And so he's doing a really good job. So yesterday when we went, they had galo, so that we had to have that. And then they had ufi and it's not balusami. What is it? What? Lu. So it's taro leaves, and it had corned beef, and some ones they have taro leaf, mayo, what else? Coconut milk, and I think that's it. Right. And then the Lu had taro leaves wrapped, and inside was corned beef. So they had that, and that went fast, of course. But Mo had that and taro and chicken. So, I mean, he watches what he eats, but he still eats what he wants. He's just, portion control. That's it. He's doing a lot of portion control. So good job, Mo.
The Moles brought in, there's 2 Johnsons and 2 Moles in the studio. And the Moles brought in healthy food. And the Johnsons ate food on the way here.
Oh, what did you have for breakfast?
Unhealthy food.
Burger King? Yes.
Unhealthy food.
Yes. Good morning.
I gotta have my tater tots
Oh, I love tater tots. I prefer those over fries.
any day.
Yes, any day. Good morning, Nai, who's checking in on Facebook. Lena Manuleleua.
Good morning,
Our
Lena.
Maury is on. So Maury, good morning, Leah. Our Leah Puasa is on. Maury, every time I go somewhere and I'll post a picture of someone that I had just met, or, I went somewhere like the Snacky with Nacky I did at Kaipo Kitchen. She's like, oh, that's Bella. I know her. I was like, girl, you know everybody. And so I posted a picture of Tuni's sister, who's the Fahu. She did dance. And Maury goes, oh, I know her. I was like, girl.
Between
you
her
know
and
everybody.
her sister Yvette, between
Yes.
those two, they know everybody.
Yeah. So I always do that. People do that to me everywhere. Like you did that to me when we went to Island Reggae Festival. Everywhere we went, I don't know why. Every time I turned around, I knew somebody. So that is Maury. All the time I post a picture or something, I'll just tag Maury in it because she knows everybody. But yeah, so thank you for tuning in this morning. Lena Manulelua checking in. So yeah, that and then we'll talk about the mandate in a little bit. People going crazy online, and so I'm a little irritated and you know what I mean?
We actually got some good COVID stuff to talk about that's not your normal,
right?
It's more what's going on right now, today kind of stuff. So we'll dig into that. Mandate is definitely part of it. Yeah.
So that, and then yesterday, we didn't go, but I was dying to go. But I went to my great nephew's birthday party. Danny Osi Perez, his 1-year anniversary, they celebrated, how we do. We celebrate a year of the passing of Danny Osi Perez, who was the founder and the guru for the Island Reggae Festival. And that happened at Lake Cunningham Park yesterday. So Loretta, his wife, and really the Rude Boy Entertainment had a 3-day celebration. So Friday was mass for Danny, and then yesterday, was a free concert in the park, and they called it the Danny Fest. And it was a free concert and booths and just whoever wanted to show up show up. And so I wanted to go just to feel the vibe and everything, and just to really pay respects to Danny. And when I was, I was being a Faika and scrolling through my newsfeed.
No.
I know, right? I seen that Fiji performed. So if you missed it yesterday, you missed a free concert with Fiji. And I seen Fia also was one of the performers, but it looked really nice. It was a day out in the sun. It was hot. People had umbrellas. So I love that people got to celebrate Danny in the way that he lived his life. And also today they're doing a bike ride, 25 miles, because Danny loved to bike ride. And so today is the final day of celebrating. And they're doing a 25-mile bike ride, which I love, love, love.
We were doing about maybe a year and a half ago, we were talking about doing a scholarship, a PBD scholarship. And we wanted to present that on stage at the Island Reggae Festival.
Yeah.
So I had reached out and talked to Danny, and he kind of had, so the last Island Reggae Fest that we went to, he was involved. He was definitely the driving factor behind it, but he had taken kind of a more secondary role. Like we didn't see him, running from place to place the way that we had seen him in previous years. And it did feel like kind of not like a passing of the torch, but he definitely was not that hands-on presence that we had seen in previous years. And when I talked to him, he had really backed away from the Island Reggae Festival, and he said, "Absolutely, you can. We'll work with the performers if you want to do that."
Right.
And we ended up going a different direction, and we didn't do that. But in my conversation with him, it was very much a health conversation. You could tell there was something going on where he was really focused on his life and kind of the minutes, the days, the time with his family, and it was a touching conversation for the guy who had created all of that and was like, it's got to take on a life of its own. Like somebody needs to pick it up was really what he was saying to me. And then, in a year, I don't know, maybe 18 months, he had passed. And that's really one of those people that I look at and just go, like, there'll be times where it feels like he's still here in that, like, why he doesn't feel like he could be gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? All the things that he's done. It kind of feels, and I think this is why there was such a big turnout for his first year, is because he felt like family to thousands of people because of the projects and things that he worked on.
Yeah, it was awesome that he created Island Reggae Festival for Pacific Islanders, giving them a stage to perform where it's just PIs. So I think it was sad that we lost such an amazing person. And he was, heavy into community work in San Jose. He's well known, not just, nationally, but he worked in the community. Yeah. So
I remember you got some really cool time. It's that time before the events happen, where you and I sometimes will go to an event in the morning before it all gets set up and moving. I think you went the night before
we
the Island Reggae Festival and had time alone with Danny, and he told you, those kind of things. Like, look, we just created this because there wasn't really a space for Pacific Islander artists. There wasn't really a literal or figurative stage for them in the Bay Area. And that's the kind of guy that Danny was. He was like, well, that needs to happen. Yeah. Then I'll make it happen. Let's do it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Me and Mena went to go interview him at the Santa Clara County
Fairgrounds.
Fair. Yeah. And then he got in our car, and then we just toured the
and didn't know you from anybody.
Didn't even know who I was.
Right.
He just said, "Yeah,
PBD
come on."
PBD wasn't even a thing at that point.
And so he got in my car, and him and Mena toured the fairgrounds, and he said, "This is where this stage is going to set up. This is where this and this," and nothing was up yet. And so he said, by tomorrow or by the weekend, it's going to be all done. And it was a completely different place by the time we got there on Saturday. So I love Danny, that his heart is just, he's just open. His heart is open to everything and anyone that is trying to do good, you know what I mean? And so yeah, so it was yesterday was the celebration, and so big ups to.
I'm glad that came off really well.
Yeah, it looked like a great event. So I'm sad that I didn't get to make it, but it looked beautiful online. I was being a Faika online. So yeah, I think that was it. I have the this week or today actually. I was asking Mena how can we get TV New Zealand, TVNZ1, that's what it's called. And it says it's on demand, and I've been stalking these people's page. The Polynesian Panthers TV series starts today, but you can only get it on TV New Zealand. And so I'm dying to watch that, which my kids are very, what is it? They're very good at getting stuff up.
They're creative.
They're very creative.
on
Yes.
how they consume digital media.
There you go. That's it. My kids are very creative that way. So I may or may not get to watch that. But I don't know if they're going to have it on YouTube or whatever, but I'm dying to watch the Polynesian Panthers in New Zealand, how it's going to start from when it was. I've seen some of the previews, like commercials on Instagram, where it starts from when it's just like this guy is coming up with I guess whoever the founder is coming up with the idea, how it started. It's just like from beginning to now. So I'm looking forward to getting a peek at the first series, the first episode of the series. So hopefully I'll get to see that.
Is that a Lisa Tauma production? Or
I
it's
don't
a
think
TV
so.
New Zealand production?
It's a TV New Zealand production. I'm not sure.
So much good stuff over there that
I know.
we're just so thirsty
behind. We're so behind. Good morning, Tammy. Tammy's checking in from Oregon. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get to watch the Polynesian Panthers TV series. And then, later on today, my nephew Nico is moving to San Diego, and so we're having a see you later celebration. See ya next month celebration. So yeah, he's one of the first babies to.
I like that. It's
hit
not
it.
a goodbye. Mm-hmm. It's a see you later.
We'll see you next month because my mom will be all over him because she lives in Chula Vista, San Diego area. So yeah,
That's a little bit of a trek though, from downtown San Diego proper to Chula Vista.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a drive.
It's a bit of a drive. So yeah, we're going to wish him good luck on his way. He's leaving this week. And so we're having a dinner celebration at my sister-in-law's house. So I think that's it. That was my week. How was your week?
My week was good. A lot of it is, we'll talk about that here in a minute. It's dealing with COVID in my 9 to 5. And we'll talk about, we'll do all things COVID here on its own topic. So my mom's computer had died, just crashed out, and she was looking for a computer, and in talking to her, she won't ask for the computer. You know what I mean? And I'll say, hey, I could go on and look and see if I can find one. So I found one. She's adamant that she wanted to pay for it.
No.
Yeah. So we worked things out.
Yes. That's a no.
That took some work. But one of the things that because we bought computers for PBD. PBD's bought quite a few computers here in the last 6 months.
Right.
And the computers that you need to do the editing and the video editing and run a podcast and all those kind of things, I didn't realize how high tech.
Yeah.
Because if you want a computer that you just want to run Office on and do email, it's $350.
That's awesome.
For a Dell computer.
That's awesome.
I was blown away by, when I started looking for her, what does she need? She's not going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff.
Is she on social media?
She's on Facebook a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like, she's my friend on Facebook.
So, it was like minimal needs, and it was $350.
Dang, that's good.
So I got it. On Thursday night, I stayed up, put Office on it, hooked up
her email,
Outlook, and her email and all that, made it one click.
Yeah.
And, just kind of customized it for her, and then headed up to Fort Bragg on Friday.
Ooh.
And yeah.
That's such a nice drive too. I love the drive to Fort Bragg.
Yeah. I went I went kind of the long way through. I did a lot more little towns, small highway kind of thing, than rather than just going up to Highway 20 and going west all the way to Fort Bragg. I kind of wound my way through some, little towns and took my time. That is that kind of peaceful windshield time.
Nice.
Sometimes I was listening to a podcast, sometimes listening to an audiobook, or sometimes I just had the window down and I was just chilling.
Flies hitting you in
Flies
the face.
and bees flying in. Yeah, so good time with my mom.
Yeah.
Got, got a hotel that overlooked the harbor.
I
So,
know. You sent me a picture. It was so beautiful. It was like the sky was orange.
Yeah,
and,
all the way across.
yeah,
The whole
it was
horizon.
nice.
Beautiful, just, your normal Fort Bragg sunset.
Yeah, I
when there's
love
not
Fort
fog.
Bragg, though. I love Fort Bragg. It's like kind of peaceful there. And of course, I love seeing your mom. But like there's that little downtown, the ice cream place,
Oh, Calix.
Calix. That's my favorite.
And you're not even an ice cream.
I'm not.
Oh,
but
no, you are?
now,
You do like ice cream.
I'm an ice cream person now, but I want to go back and really get into the ice cream there.
Go dig into Calix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my kids, the triplets, when they're growing up, they knew there's beaches in Fort Bragg, grandma, grandpa are in Fort Bragg, and Calix is in Fort Bragg. Probably not even in that order. It was probably more like Calix, grandparents beach.
Yeah.
And we've been there. There's been lines out the door,
Yeah.
onto the sidewalk if it's a, 4th of July, Labor Day kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, it's just really, really good ice cream.
Yeah, I think I had some ice cream, but I can't remember because I was like worried, like
Right.
I'm gonna get sick. Should I eat this? But now I'm just gonna go in and eat it. So I'm due for a Fort Bragg drive.
So that was, that was my week. It was COVID.
Is there
pretty
video
much.
games on the?
Solitaire. All she
Does
wanted.
she play solitaire?
She plays solitaire, and there isn't. So in the old Windows, it would just came as part of it was like an app, right? You would just open it up. They don't have it on there. They have a games app where you can play all these games that I know my
Too
mom
much.
is just not going to get involved in. I had to go find the
Right.
classic or whatever, download it, and then put it on the toolbar at the bottom,
she can see
just
it.
click on it and
Yeah.
open it up. But
Look at you.
yeah, trying to make things easy for Mama.
You should have got some other game, like the word game or Scrabble, because she likes Scrabble. You should have uploaded that on her computer.
She likes playing
I know.
Scrabble in person.
Your dad
Yeah.
should have uploaded Scrabble.
That's
Call me.
yeah, I don't
Call
know.
me.
She likes playing Scrabble in person, and she doesn't lose. So we would play with the kids were, I don't know, 8, 9,
Killing
and she would
everybody.
smash them.
No mercy.
None at all. I remember when Malia finally beat her. I think Malia was, I don't know how old, but it wasn't like the little, fun kind of, let the kids win. No, Grandma wins. Whenever she could win, she wins.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that she still plays Scrabble. At how old is your mom?
83.
Dang. Okay.
And she still has her friends still come over. They still play Scrabble. I say, who won last weekend? She goes, it was pretty even. And then other times, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, so you lost when it was even.
When it was even was probably not so even. But that's the way my mom is. Like,
Yeah.
we would play checkers, chess, parcheesi, whatever.
What is parcheesi?
Parcheesi is like Chinese checkers.
Oh, is it that with marbles?
Is it?
It's the board game.
Oh, no. It's a board game. Chinese checkers is what actually what I
I
was
was like,
the
what?
marble thing.
Parcheesi is Chinese? Fool.
And I know is good at parcheesi. That's why he knows. But that was the thing in the Johnson family. Like, if you weren't cheating, you weren't trying.
Oh.
So
Oh my God, that's all the My mom is the biggest cheater in everything. We play Uno and she'd win every time, and then she'd get up, go to the bathroom. There's like 5 cards on her seat. So yeah, Lena says, I love Scrabble board game. So yeah, she plays with her sister and nieces. I know I'm not a word person. You are, but that's probably because your mom had you playing Scrabble at an early age.
so when we were, I don't know, I was probably in 3rd grade through almost to high school, we played this game, and it was just a game called homonym, and we would just think of words that sounded the same but were
Okay,
spelled
see.
different.
Yeah.
And my mom still has the list.
Wow.
She still has this, and I sent her. I called her maybe a year ago. I was on my walk, and I was thinking about these words. I was like, I wonder if those are on the list. I called my mom up and said, "Hey, I don't remember what they were, but is this on the list?" And she went, checked the list, and it was already on the list.
Oh,
But
see.
she still got it, and if I from time to time, I will find a word that's spelled two different ways, and I'll get it on the list. Even this is, 40 years later, we're still playing the game.
See, you guys play good games. When I was growing up, we played card games. You know what Gaisu is? It's a card game where you ask if you have a diamond, or you try to get rid of your pairs. You just try to get rid of your cards. And at the end of the game, if you had diamonds, if you had cards left over, the person that had cards left over, if you had a diamond, with the card, you cut the person's nose. If you had clubs left over, we'd slap your nose. Those were the games we played.
I remember playing Sweepy with T, and we would argue so much
Yeah.
that she'd watch, and she'd go, "There's no rules in that game." I go, "What do you mean? There's all kinds of rules in that game." She goes, "No, everything you guys argued about, like what was a point, what wasn't a point,
Yeah.
and then you have 7, I have 4, that leaves you with 3, like all those we would, because we'd argue. That's just the way we played, and we'd argue about everything. And Nick swears to this day that Sweepy is just a made-up game that you make up the rules as you go.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, every Pacific Islander that I know knows how to play Sweepy, except for me. I don't know how to play. And I think people have tried to teach me. I still don't know. And I think I'm scared of those games because of Gaisu. I was like,
cut my face.
I used to always lose, and I would always get hit in the nose. So, yeah, I don't play that. I didn't teach my kids that either. Did we teach you that, Mena? I don't think Mena played. But
Mena
yeah.
said, "Yeah, I get clubbed."
Oh, okay. There you go. You just get clubbed anyway. So, yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, see, so that's why your mom, and you're good at words too. So
Yeah.
it's from your mom. There you go. So I love that you went to Fort Bragg because your favorite beach is there.
My favorite beach, Casper Beach, of all
Yeah.
the beaches in the world, of which Fiafia Beach, Waimea Beach, Sunset Beach, they all rank high. But
Yeah.
Casper Beach is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. I'm glad you got to see your mom.
Yeah. Good time to hang out in Fort Bragg.
Good times. I love Fort Bragg, though. One time we went to Fort Bragg, and we went to go work. So Carl has this car that he's working on, or he's not working on. It's your grandfather's old
Pickup truck.
that you're
Then I went to my
upgrading.
uncle,
Yeah.
and then I went to my dad, then I went to me.
Yeah, so he had the truck in Fort Bragg, and some mechanic was working on it, and something happened. So we went up there to go, I don't know what, look at parts or look at the truck or see if somebody can tow it from Fort Bragg
from Westport to Fort Bragg.
And then from Fort Bragg it got to here
It got
in the
to,
area.
Modesto.
So we get to Fort Bragg, and we had to go get the car, and we had to go through this mountain in
In Westport.
Westport. I swear it was scary mountain because we had to go up this steep hill or mountain with the tow
truck driver.
Truck driver.
It's kind of, it could be scary, I guess, up there.
It was scary.
There's some,
Because the guy,
some interesting people that live up there.
It was
that
scary
have
people.
Interesting lifestyles, lots of guns, lots of dogs and wolves and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So,
and the guy, and I'm telling Naki, like, this isn't really that bad. It's not, I mean, it looks bad. It's not that bad.
It was
The tow
scary.
truck driver's from Fort Bragg, and he goes, "No, this is scary."
This is scary. Because I was like, I'm going to wait in the car. Because we got out, and the truck was like it was like, I don't know, some kind of scary movie episode, because we get out and the guy looks like he's on crack and he's trying to show us where the truck is, and we have to lift up. It's not even a garage door. Like, it looked like a I don't know, somewhere
big
where there's
curtain.
bodies in it. And then, so we open up the curtain to look at all the cars, and I'm looking around like, is somebody going to jump out or whatever? Even the tow truck driver who lives there was like, yeah, I'm going to go with the car. And I'm like, I'm going with you. So we sat in the car, but there was dogs, like loose dogs that were barking all over the place. And it was just like dark and scary and trees and crackheads.
Meth.
Meth.
The drug of
my
choice
bad.
is meth.
It was meth. He was on meth. My bad. So yeah, it
Very
was
methy.
scary. Yeah, it was scary. So that was the last time. We went up the hill and then we came down
You
the hill,
would've-
and I never went back up.
Listeners might think they wanted to go to Fort Bragg until the last few minutes of this, and now they don't want to go to Fort
No,
Bragg.
it's beautiful. It really is beautiful, except for that. I was calling it. What was I calling it?
Brokeback
Mountain, because it was scary. I don't know why I put the two together, but I was like, Brokeback Mountain. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, that was your week.
Oh, that was my week. We can probably take a break on
Yes.
the mention of meth and
Yeah.
animal abuse.
Last week we were on alcohol. This week we're on meth. So there you go. All right, so we are going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Faika Broadcast. The next song coming up is Stay Strong by Hi Guy Lai. We'll be right back.
What's wrong? You gotta stay strong and know that everything will be alright. Sit back and cool, do what you do. Start to rearrange your mind. I'm tired of facing these temptations, wondering will I ever make it. Sit back and cool, do what you do. Yeah, look. What would you do if you know when your time's up? Cause I probably go crazy, screaming life sucks. A crazy life, I probably couldn't even grind much. Gotta be patient with your cause, give it some time. Look, I'm on a different height, trying to live a different life. The game left, so I'm out here trying to get it right. All these clouds, man, clearing up my eyesight. Fresh air, sunny days, so I know it's alright. And the mood right. On a school night, living on the cool hype. Grown man business, ain't worried about what them fools like. I'm on another chapter, a life filled with laughter. The green money, my family, and yeah, that's what I'm after. I'm chasing dollars, chasing dreams. I done this out of love, putting hate out easily. I do this for my fam, was never in it for the streets. Tell them haters to relax, cause ain't no need for the beef. No matter what's wrong, you gotta stay strong and know that everything will be alright. Sit back and cool, do what you do. Start to rearrange your mind. I'm tired of facing these temptations, wondering will I ever make it. Sit back and cool, do what you do. I'm tired of waking up seeing my pop stressing. Why he stressing? Cause his impression was to see my fam make it. He just wanna see he ain't wrong, it all depends on how you take it. Now when you make it, is you giving that man praises. You gotta humble yourself, my nigga, and get the picture. Spitting the truth without a point of liquor. Is you rolling bolo or who rolling with you? My time saying time will tell. And I'm always on my grind for my family. Shit, I love them for real, nonetheless. Minding my own, it eases the stress. I ain't the best, but with the mic, I'm like a top chef, and it keep going. Finish lining in my shine yet. I ain't finna stop here. Punchlines will probably leave you drop quick. I gotta get it, I'm confident, cause my family, they knew I was ready. God's up keeping my game steady, and my whole fam heavy. And them haters feel it, got them niggas feeling a little peanut butter jelly when I spit the realest quotes. And niggas probably hurt, trying to have my whole family flying in the birds. The ignorance around me ain't never being hurt. Smile with your chin up, forever feeling blessed, you heard. No matter what's wrong, you gotta stay strong and know that everything will be alright. Sit back and cool, do what you do. Start to rearrange your mind. I'm tired of facing these temptations, wondering will I ever make it. Sit back and cool, do what you do, and everything will fall in place.
Talofa, Hafaday, Malolele, Bulavanaka, Yakwe, and Aloha. Our Pasifika people have always enjoyed spending time with friends, family, and food. During this pandemic, It's going to take the entire village to make a change. If you and your Ohana are ready for summertime, get vaccinated. In clinical trials, COVID vaccines prevented nearly 100% of hospitalizations and deaths. For more information on where you can get vaccinated, go to pacificislanderhealth.org.
What a great voice.
What a guy.
What a guy that.
The man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The legend.
On air with Q.
On air with Q. I love Q. That was a good message.
That's a good message. Why did we pick that song, though?
I don't know. Oh, we picked that song because Snacky with Nacky
1 year old today.
Is 1 year old. I can't believe it. Like when we started, we blessed 2 people. And then today we're going to go eat and do Snacky with Nacky. We have $659.50.
50 cents.
Well, Mena is going to even it off. So it's $660 that we have to tip someone. So Snacky with Nacky, we ask people, friends, family, listeners, whoever, for 50 cents. And then at the end of the round, whatever we collect, where we go snacky, eat, we will tip the essential server or business, whatever we collected. So I think the last time we collected over $700, $700 and something dollars, and we tipped a server in Oakland, and then today we'll tip someone wherever we go eat. So
wherever we end up
with
Sister Mona.
There you go. We're having lunch with Sister Mona. Malo, good morning, Malo, checking in on Facebook. Awesome. He had the Pacifica Unity Festival that looked like a huge
success last week.
Huge success. And so we're not going to miss next year, though. We're totally not going to miss next year.
We can start putting things on the calendar now.
Yes. This Essence of Mana.
Essence of Mana. A couple of things coming up with Essence of Mana. They had their Talanoa Tuesday, which is every week at 7 p.m. It was hosted by Nani Wilson and Lulu Masina. Their guest this week was Falafia Jr. Brandon Fomatu, who is a classically trained opera singer and arts administrator and is setting groundwork in his community as a Pacifica orator and creativity. So go check that out. If you missed it, I was on there listening to very well-spoken, highly intelligent young man. Very, very woke seems to be like almost like a term where people use sarcastically, like, oh, you're so woke or whatever, but very aware in the space that he holds and very woke. Essence of Mana is also offering free classes via Zoom. They're reaching out to our PI community. Doesn't matter where you live because it's virtual. You just got to be willing to commit to the course, which is 12 weeks. For more info, you can hit up Lulu Masina at 415-243-6328 or El Masina at healthright360.org.
Yay! Our Brittany Afu is checking in from Utah. Good morning,
Creator
Britt.
of the greatest lemon bars in history.
Ever. Britt makes these lemon bars that are to die for. Everything that she makes is amazing, but go follow her. Check out, she has fundraisers, Utah, if you are paying attention. If you want the best sweets ever, you got to check out when Britt is doing her fundraisers. So.
I always remember that she was involved with Journey to Empowerment and she was bringing food. And so there was already the rumor that Britt Afu was going to bring food to Journey to Empowerment.
Right.
So everybody was like, I wonder if she's going to bring in
the lemon bars.
And then she ended up showing up after it already started. So we were actually in session in J2E and she came in and she had one tray of the lemon bars that everybody saw.
Right.
And then she had something else in, I don't even remember. I don't care, right? Who knows what the other food was? She walks in and she puts it in the kitchen, which is in a completely different room than the general session. And after she puts it in the room, I'm thinking, okay, so at the next break, I need to make sure I get in there. Well, somebody gets up and goes in there to get a water because they're thirsty, and I see them come back out and they've got in their hand and they've got a paper towel over the top of their hand, and then somebody else sees that, and then they go in, and then
Right.
pretty soon everybody's streaming in there to get the lemon squares. And I don't even know when the break got there. There's probably like half of them were already gone
Yeah.
because everybody went in to get a drink and steal some lemon bars.
I was gonna say, was that me? Because usually when her lemon
You were the
bars,
first one.
Usually when her lemon bars enter a room, I'm out. I'm out. I just follow her to
You
the
don't
kitchen.
even wait.
Yeah, I don't even wait. I don't even care who's talking. I gotta go.
I wasn't gonna bust
I gotta
you
go.
out, but yeah, you were the first one. I think I was third. I let one
Yeah.
other person go, and then I was in there getting my bottle of water
Yeah.
and then hiding the lemon bars that everybody knew that I had.
Yeah, I'm greedy when it comes to Britt's cooking because I try to scoop up everything. So there you go. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning, Britt. Amazing voice too.
Yes. Koviki Talk we took a break this week, so there was no Koviki Talk, but Koviki Talk is back this week, tomorrow, Monday at 5 p.m. We have Trina Sound and Brandon Takadina, and they will be coming on to discuss everything COVID and pandemic and the work that they're doing in the community. So please tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Let's talk about COVID for a second.
Let's do it.
My 9 to 5, I run the COVID calls, and we talk about, when they were exposed, when they tested positive. Do we want to do close contact analysis? All those kind of things. Cases are just popping off.
Crazy.
Like crazy number of cases. And there was a long period of time where we didn't have calls. We have calls over the period of an hour. The entire company would have a call. So one region would go, then another region would go, 9 regions. We went several months with hardly any calls.
Right.
And now that hour is full up. Sometimes we're going over. It's just crazy out there.
Yeah.
So I think that, does it mean something to you? And it does to me. But so Israel just authorized boosters for the first wave of people that got the vaccination. The United States has not authorized booster shots. I think we all understand that boosters are going to happen. Like that's going to be something in the future. Why is our government waiting? Why are we holding back when we know that that's going to happen? Seeing that happen in other countries of the world, when a lot of the development and the science and the cutting edge of the technology of the vaccine happened here in the United States, and then to see us not out in front leading the world bugs me. That bugs me that we wouldn't be authorizing booster shots at this point.
Well, we have to get everybody vaccinated for it, right? Don't you have to have the second shot at least before you get the booster shot?
Right.
We're like halfway there.
Right, but the people who got the vaccine months ago should be able to get the booster shot, should be authorized.
And what is the booster shot?
Booster shot's the same as like the flu shot. You get different. You get a booster shot to keep the vaccine effective, and that's probably going to happen. That's probably going to be a go forward thing. And I'm not a doctor. We have a doctor we could talk to about that, but I think my opinion is that we're going to end up with booster shots every year or something for
COVID.
For COVID,
not the vaccine shot.
Not the vaccine.
Just
it would be a booster shot
to keep the vaccine shot. Okay, but shouldn't we? So we're going to get a booster shot to keep the vaccine shots that we have. Like we just got the shots.
Right.
So wouldn't we wait a year or something for the booster shots?
I don't know. Some people have got, I don't know how long ago people got the booster shot, but the fact that there's other countries that have authorized the booster shot, when I think that we're going to end up doing that anyway, makes me wonder why we're not doing that as a country.
We're already fighting about wearing a, like we fight over wear a mask or don't wear a mask. And now I've seen all over social media, anti-vaxxers against vaxxers. It's like, it's so hateful, And I personally, I am vaccinated. It was my choice because of my health. I did my research. I have doctors in my pocket.
I got them on speed dial.
I got them on speed dial. And so if I have questions about, but I'm fortunate that I get to have doctors that are informed and are educated on this, and they're doctors. Like they know more shit than me. So of course I'm going to ask them. And not everybody can pick up a phone and call a doctor. You know what I mean? So especially one that talks to Congress and C-SPAN about Pacific
I
Islanders.
heard he's
and
really
the-
hard to.
He's very hard to get a hold of.
difficult to
It's
get
very
hold of.
difficult to get a hold of.
At least that's what I've heard.
But I am lucky that I can pick up a phone and call it this doctor, Samoa, that, who is very well informed and on the teams of, the everything, pandemic, COVID. And not everybody is fortunate. So for myself, I chose to get vaccinated because I did my research. I got COVID. Severe symptoms, and I know how that feels. Like there's different states of when you get COVID, you could get a cold, you could lose your taste buds, and then there's the severe cases where your respiratory is infected for life, right? That's what I got. So I don't want that again. I don't want that to happen to me again. I don't want it to happen to my family. So me and my baby's at home and Mo are vaccinated. It's our decision.
Right.
And I get that some people don't want to get vaccinated because it's not FDA approved. There's hella shit that's not. And you probably don't even know what the fuck FDA means, just in general. But there's tons of stuff that's not FDA approved, but they did approve it for emergency, because it's a pandemic, right? And I get people have their own views of the pandemic. Fine. I don't have anything against you. That's your choice.
Right.
But I'm finding that now San Francisco, Mayor London Breed has a vaccine mandate, right? Where you can't go in order for you to go into public businesses, the gym or, businesses and big group settings, you have to have been vaccinated.
And some city workers, right?
Yes, some city
county workers.
Exactly. And I watched a video this week of a firefighter in Hawaii who was crying and saying that he loves his job. He loves the people of Hawaii. For him, he chooses not to get the vaccine. But I guess it's a mandate
to keep his job.
To keep his job, he has to get vaccinated. And I felt for him because he was just crying, and he's saying for 20 odd years he's been serving the city of Oahu, for example, putting his life on the line, and now he's forced to choose whether to stay with his job or to put something in his body that he doesn't agree with, which that's your choice. I get it. And it really is. They're like, oh, they're forcing me. Nobody's forcing you to get the vaccine, right? It's your choice, but you have to, there's consequences when you know what I mean? Like if the city says you got to get vaccinated to keep your job, it's kind of hard.
There's, condition of working at some places is wear a mask.
Right.
And there's people that, are going to draw the line at, well, that's something external to my body. I have to wear the mask. I don't agree with it, but I'll wear it to maintain my employment.
Yeah.
And that can be different. That can be different with a vaccination because you're putting something in your body. And I understand that. I understand it.
I totally get that.
But I think that, there's I think the term pandemic, a lot of people had to learn what that meant. And we learned that in the last year and a half is what is a pandemic versus an epidemic.
Yeah.
And I think the word endemic is something that we're going to need to learn to understand what that is. And it's just going to be a part of our health system. It's like, so AIDS, there is no vaccine for AIDS. Right. But there's treatment for AIDS.
That helps you live a longer life. Right.
So they never eradicated AIDS. They never found the vaccine, and they're still looking for the vaccine. Right. But it's endemic now. Like it's there, but it can be treated. Right. And I think that's where the vaccine efforts and then match that with treatment efforts where we can have effective treatment for people that get COVID-19 from whatever, the alpha variant, the delta variant, whatever it may be. I think it's just going to be a combined thing of herd immunity, vaccine, and then treatment. Yeah. And then it's endemic to our society. It's part like AIDS, HIV has been. There's still not a cure. Right.
And I think I'm adamant about the vaccine for me, and I try to talk to people to help them understand where I'm going if they ask me. But I think it's because Pacific Islanders, the numbers for Pacific Islanders is way different than, any other race, right? The Pacific Islanders, their numbers are crazy high. People are dying at a crazy rate. We're getting testing positive for COVID-19 at a way higher than if you were white. If you were,
well, people of color,
right,
they have worse health ramifications from COVID-19
right.
than white people. Within
Right.
people of color, there are a high number groups of people within the group,
Right.
group of people of color. That's us.
Yes.
Like we're high in the high
Yes.
group. We're high.
Yes. So it's a lot. So it's a lot different for us to make the decision whether to vaccinate or not. And I think the hesitancy or the ratio that we're here at for PIs, is it in California, is 50-50, and which is statewide. In general, it's 50-50. Yes, but 70% of Latinos in San Francisco have had at least one shot, so that's good. I'm not sure if we have our numbers disaggregated. I'll have to check with Rainer, which we probably
They're
will have your
available,
answer
right.
on the 23rd, because Koviki Talk on the 23rd, we'll be talking to California, the California team, Happy, who has been working with the numbers, the data, and everything. So it's a lot different when I speak about COVID and vaccine than a white person. There's just a difference because
Right.
our numbers are way high.
Those are things we should take away
Right.
from, right? We should take away that your family is living healthier,
Right.
eating healthier.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like those are the big long-term takeaways.
Right.
Is we need to live healthier so that these kind of things don't affect us this way.
Exactly. So yeah, I think everybody's starting to get healthy. There you go. So that was my take on it.
I wanted to take a minute and talk about Tainapora, if you're ready for that. You ready for Tainapora?
Sure, I'll ask questions because I have no idea who that is.
So Tainapora is a Maori man that lives in New Zealand. What were you doing 21 years ago, Naki?
I was just one,
years
so
ago.
I was just 1 years old. So there you go.
21 years ago was what? My triplets are 22, going to be
Yeah.
23, so 96-ish. I don't know. A lot has gone by in the last 21 years. Tainapora was wrongfully accused of a murder and rape he did not commit and spent 21 years in jail.
How did he get out?
He got out because he got proven innocent, which you shouldn't have to prove yourself innocent. They should have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So he had fetal alcohol syndrome, and that meant
when he was born,
When he was born.
his mom drank a lot of alcohol,
Right.
while she was pregnant with him.
Yeah. And so he had developmental issues neurologically. So at the age of 17, when he got into this whole mess, he had the average intelligence of a 9 or 10-year-old. This kid ends up getting caught up in a murder that he didn't commit, and the police pull him in and interview him for 4 days. It's a 4-day interrogation. No legal custodian, legal guardian, no attorney, just him and the cops.
Oh, wow.
And
Isn't that illegal?
it's not illegal.
It's not illegal?
It's not illegal.
Oh, nice.
And so they end up getting a confession out of him. He's 17 with the mind of a 9 or 10-year-old. A 9 or 10-year-old, you can get a 9 or 10-year-old to tell you. Eventually,
Anything, right.
You could get them to tell you that they're an ambulance.
Aw.
Or that they're, in 4 days, you can get people to tell you what they want to tell
Right.
you. What you want them to
What you
tell
want them.
Right.
Yeah.
So he ends up getting convicted based on the confession. So if that's one of the things that people don't understand with wrongful convictions. If he didn't commit that murder and that rape and they convict him of it, the real murderer is still out there. Like they haven't put that person behind bars.
Yeah.
The real murderer continues to rape and continues to murder people, and they finally catch him. They catch him, and the DNA matches, and you would think Tainapora, would be exonerated. This guy admitted to doing the crime. They ask him, do you know who Tainapora is? And the murderer literally says, never heard of him. Don't know him, never met him. Showed him a picture. That should be it, right? No. It's like 10 more years that he spends in prison.
Why?
Because once a conviction happens, the state will they'll just dig their heels in and fight for that conviction, even though they know it's wrong. So this guy spends 21 years in jail. He finally gets out. He's being awarded, I think, $3.5 million, which seems like a lot of money, but for
That's
21
not a lot
years,
for 21 years.
21 years. That's not it. 3.5 million probably isn't enough for 1 year. The psychological damage that it can do. What do you see when you're in prison and you're the highest level of lockup for 21 years? You're seeing things that you shouldn't even see, right? So that's we're going to put a link to the podcast in the description, but it is a good example. And I would say this: if you ever have asked yourself, why would somebody admit to something that they didn't do? You should check out this podcast, and you should check out the podcast called Wrongful Convictions with Jason Flom. If you're a believer in the death penalty, you've got to listen to these podcasts, because there are people that have been convicted and sent to death row, and some executed that were innocent. And we can't have a system where we're executing innocent people. And it's absolutely happened. The Innocence Project has gotten hundreds of people off of death row because it's 100% proven that they had nothing to do with the crime. And those are people that would have been executed. Those are people that, people say, well, why would you admit to things that you didn't do?
Right.
If you have any questions about that, or if those kind of things, how do those things end up, or how do people end up in jail from things they didn't do? You should check out those podcasts, and there's going to be a link in the chat to Tainapora's particular one. New Zealand right now is going through a big review of justice. The previous prime minister had started it, and the current prime minister is continuing it, where they're looking at cases of miscarriages of justice.
Yeah, that's crazy. Is that the prime minister that just did the?
That's the new prime minister.
Oh, okay.
But she is continuing the program that was created by the previous prime minister.
Wow, that's crazy.
There's also a documentary, I think. It's called The Dark Days. But it's on guess what? It's on TV New Zealand 1 or New Zealand TV 1.
Dang, I want that channel.
There's a lot of documentation out there about Tainapora, but he's one of many.
You could probably find it on YouTube.
You could find it on YouTube. You just search Tainapora, and you'll find that. And it's not necessarily, it's definitely not something that's isolated to New Zealand. I mean, there's Jason Flom, Wrongful Convictions with Jason Flom, the podcast that I listen a lot to, the episodes, most of them are in the United States.
Wow,
and it's just
crazy.
insane the times that not only are they wrong, but then they put the person in prison, and then DNA clears them or whatever clears them. And so they get a new trial. And basically that's what would happen. So if I get wrongfully convicted of something, and I end up in prison, and then DNA evidence comes forward that definitely wasn't me, totally clears me, you would think that once I'm granted a new trial, the state would say, hey, we don't want to retry it.
Yeah.
They retry it. Most of the time, the state, even with the new evidence, retries it anyway and just says, well, you weren't, the DNA wasn't yours, but you were still there.
Yeah.
It's maddening how many years people have spent behind prison bars for things. And if you think it couldn't happen to you, there are so many in these episodes of people that have nothing to do with it, not even, or literally in a different state, not even anywhere near it, and a rock solid alibi, and somehow they still end up getting convicted.
That's crazy. I'm sad now. I was in a good mood, but now I'm sad. That's sad.
It's a great podcast. And my phone is ringing.
Hello?
Even though I turned it all
Carl's
the way down.
busy right now. He's doing a podcast. Good job, fool. Yeah, so check that out. We put the link in the chat. Good morning, Colini. Colini is checking in from Portland, Oregon. Good morning. Please send me your picture.
Colini Fusitua.
Colini, yes, send me your picture so I can post it. Leah said, Criminal is also a great podcast along the same lines. Well, there you go. You too should do a podcast on criminal stuff.
Criminal stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys should do that. And then you break it down and everything.
Oh, those podcasts break it down far better than I could do. If you listen to those podcasts, they've done the research. I mean, I'm gotten to the point now where I'm like, okay, they happen, but why does the state keep trying to keep the conviction and keep those are the things where I think there's a thing called prosecutorial immunity where you can do things wrong as a prosecutor and not be liable for them. So you can make up evidence, you can withhold evidence, you can do all those things and send somebody to jail for it wrongfully, and you can't be held accountable individually. That should be changed.
Yeah.
You should be able to go to jail if you do that shit.
I know. It's that whole... I think they just don't want to admit that they did wrong.
Right.
That's it. And the prosecuting attorney takes a check back. It takes a win off of their win.
And that's how you get
and-
promoted to be a judge, or you get, that's your win-loss record.
Right.
And that's one of the problems with the justice program would be like, it'd be like this kind of a card game. All right, Naki, I'm going to take all 52 cards and I am going to pick the ones that I get, and I'm going to pick the ones that you get.
Yeah.
And then we're going to play.
That's not good.
Because that's what the criminal justice system is. If I'm the state, if I'm the prosecutor, I get all the evidence, and then I get to pick which evidence I give you and which evidence I don't give you. Yeah. So if I did an interview with somebody and they say, oh yeah, absolutely, that's not the guy. Like, that is not the guy. That's not the guy that shot me.
Yeah.
Definitely not. There's been cases where that's been withheld from the defense. So the defense doesn't have that because the prosecuting side said, no, that's not pertinent to the case. They get to decide what's pertinent for the case. That's a messed up system because when you're trying to win something, we've already seen that, right? Like we were just talking about it earlier in the show. You want to win a game of Parcheesi, you will cheat to win a game of Uno. Right. You know what I mean? Now, if that's your profession and you're in a win or lose fight situation in court, you're going to do whatever some people will. Not all people, but some people are going to cheat just to win. And that's costing some people their freedom.
Yeah, that's basically it, I think. Just don't want to lose.
Right. I don't want to lose. And I could get a promotion if I win a whole bunch.
Yeah. That's it. Almost, I'm so sad now. I'm so sad. There you go. Well, I got nothing. It is. It's time to go.
That's a wrap?
That's a wrap. Go check out that story. We posted the link in our chat. Check out Koviki Talk tomorrow at 5 p.m. with Trina and Brandon. We have a Pacifica Parent series that is going on, and that's happening Thursday at 5 p.m. On YouTube and Facebook. And,
what's that about?
It's about parents and vaccination and pandemic and how they're dealing with their kids and providing the correct information. And it's geared towards Pacific Islanders, specifically for Pacific Islanders. So check that out on Thursday. And we'll be back next Sunday with Judge Moy Masaniai.
Oh,
look at that.
Look at you.
I know. I'm so proud of that one.
We've got a world-class
We have a
booking
federal
agent.
judge. He'll be on next Sunday at, I think we're starting late. I'm not really sure. He's free at 11 a.m. That's the time that we've got him. And so I'm excited to talk to Judge Moy. He's doing great things in the state of Washington. And so, awesome. I checked out his interview earlier with Big Oos, and so it was really good. And big ups to Big Oos Radio. Brother Vince is doing better. He was not feeling good, hospitalized, and so he's out recovering. Our Island City family. So there you go. Wednesday at 10 a.m. we're on Island City download the Dash Radio app, search Island City, and there you go. You'll find us at 10 a.m. We're back here next Sunday with the Judge. So we will see you later. Have a good week. Come back to FICA with us.
Love y'all.